I'm your host, Queen Evelina, and this is WQEB 97.3. Tonight we have another exclusive for you guys. You might have seen her on TV recently, but I got my girl, Shayy Winn, in the building. Who's addicted tonight? Who's crazy tonight? We about to get up close and personal with Shayy Winn. How you doing, girl?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Awesome. Okay, we're about to get into this first question here. Tell everybody where you're from. What part of the America are you?
I'm from Virginia, repping the 2 up, 2 down. That's where I'm from.
Okay, Virginia. Have you lived in any other part of the United States?
No, I've never lived anywhere else. I was born and raised here.
Okay. All right, so you are a Northeast girl forever. All right, so were you excited about the inauguration? We know that they just sworn in Joe Biden. We have a new president now. And we got a new vice president, first African-American / Asian woman in the executive ranks now. So how did you feel about that? Are you excited about Kamala Harris?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool and interesting. A lot of firsts happening through that experience, and I hope for the best for everything that goes forward now.
Me too, because some people feel like Trump hasn't left the White House and that they pre-recorded him leaving the White House because there's still leaves, according to some reporters, there's still leaves on the trees, and it's the middle of January, and it's winter, and there should be no leaves on the trees, and so there's not this new conspiracy theory that Trump has not left the White House. Not the kind of crazy that we're looking for right now, but it is what it is. So, Shayy, tell me, what made you choose music as a career path?
I chose music because from a very young, I don't know, I just really, it kind of was strong as I got older and started to experience more. Music was more like an outlet for like how I expressed myself, how I got good, and just aspects, poetry, all of that. So all of the art was like a way for me to express myself.
Okay, cool. And what would you say has been the most interesting thing that has happened to you along this journey?
The most interesting thing I would have to say is, I guess you could say realizing who is good for you and bad for you. That's just been a very interesting thing going around. Good, what's bad, who's actually here for you, identifying the difference.
Right, because you really do have some snakes out there, and you really do have some deceitful charmers, especially when you talk about the music industry. Would you consider any other challenges stand out? Because word on the street, if I'm correct, you are, I can't remember, are you visually impaired or is it hearing impaired?
I'm visually impaired. Yeah.
Okay. You would never be able to tell by the way that you sing. Your voice is absolutely amazing. Like, to me, you encompass Nightingale. When they would call singers nightingales, like you are a siren. Okay, if sirens existed, I would say it's definitely Shayy Winn.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, there's a lot of challenges in dealing with being visually impaired and a woman. I would say that being a woman that is visually impaired, there's a lot of challenges that come with it, because a lot of things that artists and other people may be able to do, I cannot. Because also I to being visually impaired for about 3.
Okay, it's going like in and out. I don't know why it's doing that. The devil is a lie. They know I'm excited, and we're trying to get this story. Okay, so now if I heard you correctly, you say you have been visually impaired for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
So did you have an accident that brought this on, or was this some form of like natural occurrence?
I guess you could say it was a natural occurrence. So I had what they call hydrocephalus, and it was due to a brain tumor. They found at 16, about to be 17. So 2 months before my 17th birthday, they found out I had a brain tumor, and
Mm.
skin tissue in the wrong place, and it was causing all of my spinal fluid to be trapped in my skull, and it made everything swell, including the nerves, and they were swollen for a amount of time. Which once the swelling down, the nerves inside of my were dead, so they couldn't really recover themselves at that.
Oh, wow. Wow. So now, did you start singing before this incident, or did you find your voice afterwards?
I started singing a long time before that. I started singing, as far as I can remember me starting to sing, I started singing when I saw Anita Baker on the Apollo. That's my favorite singer of all time. So.
Oh, okay. I see that. Anita Baker. Wow. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can totally see that. So, considering that you had a few challenges, not only being visually impaired, but being a woman, how do you not burn out in such a fast paced industry?
It's kind of trying to find things that happy. I will say I do have a very supportive family, and not only just the supportive family, but I have a very, very supportive friend who does not let you get down. If you're starting to feel down, like let's go do something, and then she'll like take you to go do something. She's always a big ball of energy with motivating everything. So she'll never get down. She'll be like, "You got to get back. We're gonna do this." She's like, "We can try it this way or this way, this way." She's my hype person, and
Okay.
my one of my godmothers.
Okay. Okay. You said, so are you saying your mom and your godmother?
So I said my best friend, my god, and my family support system too.
Ah, okay. Cool. That is so awesome. So they're your biggest cheerleaders and they've helped you to not be burnt out. Is there anyone in particular in the industry who's been very helpful with helping you on this journey?
Um, I would say there's a couple different people who gave me advice and chimed in. Right now, a person that's giving me advice with his name is Jason. He was a artist in Massachusetts, and he was from my school. Um, Larry Wiggins from Hard Knocks, the owner of Hard Knocks, the independent label, uh, had a different people kind of just at different moments in time kind of pour in and say different. It's not all been once. My memory is kind of bad, so I can't remember everybody's name, but yeah.
Okay. Well, good luck when it's time for you to get your Grammy. To get your Grammy, you're gonna have to write everything down so you can
Yeah.
for everybody to think. Well, that is awesome because I know we did some other interviews with artists in the past, and people always tend to mention their family members and the support and motivation that they bring to the table. It's always good to know who in the industry has also lent you a helping hand. Now, how do you use your music in order to bring goodness to the world? Do you find that you do you find ways to bridge the entertainment industry with the visually impaired community?
Yes, I would say I have. That was kind of vital, mostly because the reason I was there was to show that, well, because in my area, I'm the only, well, I was, specifically, I was the only school. So being that way, being the first blind person or visually impaired person that some people met, I got a lot of ignorance to it. A lot of times I have felt alone. So I went on Idol to show that you're not alone. There's other people just like you in the world. And that we can all get through it. So I kind of use my music to like get people to feel. Like I love that when I can feel it, what you're singing about, then that's what draws me in, and I like people to feel what I'm singing. I don't feel it if they don't feel it. I'm singing for the most part. So
Right.
that,
You know who you sound like, right?
who do I sound like?
Ray Charles. I'm sure
I
you've
do.
seen the movie Ray. Have you seen the movie Ray? He
Yes,
talked
I
a lot about like you sound like him in not singing wise, but obviously, but as far as like what you've had to experience and trying to use your challenge in order to kind of open up people more and inspire them to grow, because sometimes people love to be it's not as if people don't know people who are visually impaired exist, but like you said, people will be ignorant and act like they don't know or like they don't understand, or they will ask you inappropriate questions, or they might do inappropriate things to you just to test out to see whether or not you're telling the truth or if you're trying to get some level of sympathy. Those are insecure people, but I'm sure by now you know that most people unfortunately are insecure, and one of the ways that they fill in their void is by teasing or antagonizing other people. So that's why I say you kind of remind me of Ray, because he's had those similar challenges that he had to get around in order to have a career in music. And thank God he did, because we wouldn't have as great of a catalog as we do. And you are an amazing songstress. Now tell me this, Addicted and Crazy, we have currently right now in rotation on WQEB 97.3. Yeah, Shayy Winn is in fact one of our artists. So make sure you hit that link in my bio, or you can go to qebvlog.tv/WQEB to listen to Shay's music. Did you write any of those songs?
Yes, well, I actually wrote on the songs because I'm relearning how to do all of the stuff that I used to be able to do by myself. I'm
Right,
learning how to be less dependent, and I haven't quite gotten there yet. Since everything, I used to be a visual person,
right.
and that aspect has changed. I'm switching over to audio, and I'm a little bit of I would say a harder time with the audio. So I co-wrote, yeah, I did co-write.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Awesome. I mean, because the connection that you had with the words to me made me feel as if you were a little bit more intimate, with it. Like you had to write or contribute in some kind of way to the words that you were singing. Because some people are very good at delivering and not necessarily writing. But depending on how it's delivered and the style of singing, you can tell if that performer actually wrote that song. And that was
Right.
what I felt when I heard both singles, Addicted and Crazy. Now, what would you say is a life lesson quote that you live by?
One of the life lesson quotes I say I live by is, especially now, is people are gonna always. Well, this is one I say, and it's stuck in my head. People are always gonna tell you, you can't do that, you can't do this, you can't do that, but you could do it. It might be a little bit harder, and you might have to do it differently, but you can still do it.
Right. So true. So true. So true. It might seem hard, but you can still do it. Never give up, I guess, would be your life lesson.
Yeah. Basically, yeah.
Right. So besides Anita Baker, who would you say are your other influences vocally?
I would have to say Jasmine Sullivan because I would have to say Whitney. Love me some. Uh, oh, there's so many good ones. um,
Okay. Jasmine Sullivan, Whitney. Okay. Okay. I'm
I like
feeling it.
her as a new artist. I like her. Hers.
Her. Oh, I was waiting for her. I was like, listening to your music. I was like, man, if you and her did a song together, oh my God. OMG. Yeah, I could totally see that. I could totally see that. How do you choose your producers?
I'm still working on that, trying to figure out how to get ones that stand and kind of vibe with me because I can't necessarily describe things the way that you see them or another person would cite them. I kind of describe it in a way that I see it. So I have to people that can kind of see the same line of vision that I see at that point. Like when I'm trying to explain it to them, who can feel what I'm feeling and understand them. That's the best way I would find them.
Okay. Now, what is your warm-up routine? Because every singer has their like secretive, special concoction that makes them sing like butter when they get on stage. Do you have a specific warm-up routine?
I do. I learned most of my vocal warm-ups are warm-ups I learned because I did go to performing arts high school.
Okay.
So some of them are ones I learned in high school, but a trade I picked up in high school was salt water. Gargling and swallowing just a little bit of salt water is like a bath for your vocal cords. Never knew that until recently, and it actually does. Because there's been plenty of times where I lost my voice, and I would say I am miracle in the salt water. So,
Right. What about have you heard the one with the just Lay's potato chips because of the salt in it?
oh yes, I've heard that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
That
get scared before I sing though because I feel like I'm gonna choke. So that's also thing. I always have a because I'm like I'm gonna choke on it. I can't do it. So
okay. On the potato chips. So you prefer the liquids.
Yes, I do.
Okay. Now, do you add anything special to your diet? Because we know going vegan is like all the rave now. So, are you vegan? You're carnivore? You're vegetarian? Tell us about the diet.
Oh, my diet. I have not changed my. When it comes to singing, on the day that I have to sing, depending on the time, well, not even just depending on the time, I will not eat certain things before it, like tomatoes, which was a model Richie gave me. Don't eat tomatoes before you sing. Certain dairy products I won't eat a lot, even though dairy doesn't affect me as bad. I won't eat as much of it. So all the stuff that I know is harmful for my vocal cords, I just won't eat it before I. But after I sing, oh, it's going to popping. I'm getting whole whatever I want because I'm hungry. Because I told you I really won't eat too much before. So
Right. Yeah, I've heard that as well. Tomatoes, obviously, because of the acid, and anything that's like acidic outside of like maybe like lemon and honey and the dairy. Yeah, I heard about that recently too, because I guess the cheese or the cream or whatever would kind of like coat your throat and you can't really, get up to where you want to get up to.
right.
Okay, Miss Shayy Winn. So let everybody that's out in YouTube land and TikTok land know where they can follow you on social media.
So you guys can follow me on Instagram at Shaywinn, SHAYYWINN. You can find YouTube also at Shaywinn, and my Facebook is The Singer. So SHAYY The Singer.
All right, all right. Now, guys, make sure that you stay tuned to WQEB 97.3 because we're going to be bringing Shayy back a little bit later as we do a live review with Shayy Winn, Addicted and Crazy. I'm your host, Queen Evelina, and this was WQEB 97.3. We out.